everyone, this is Peak Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and this will be some thoughts on the first full trailer for Ironheart. Now there could be spoilers mentioned here for all movies and TV series within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so just beware when going to this overall video. So then, Ironheart is overall the 14th superhero TV series set within the MCU existing on Disney+. It follows the story of young teenager Riri Williams, who was first seen in Black Panther Wakanda Forever as an MIT scientist who created a vibranium detector for the US government, and when searching for it, it instigated the conflict between the Wakandians and Namor's underwater race. Riri Williams goes on to build the Iron Man-like armor to use in the fight alongside the Wakandians. Now, in terms of the source material, the character of Riri Williams was created by Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Deodato, and appeared in the Invincible Iron Man Volume 3 issue comic book back in 2016. And like the movie, she constructs the Iron Man armor, which alerts the attention of Tony Stark, who then helps her to become a hero. The Ironheart series will debut on Disney Plus on June 24th, 2025, and will consist overall of 6 episodes and will be released in 2 blocks of 3, a release strategy I'm still really confused by, but there you go. So then, when looking at the trailer itself, I think overall it was okay. It was fast paced, full of action and pop hip hop soundtrack, promising at the very least a very lively and eventful story. It keeps the focus primarily on Riri Williams with no appearances from any other MCU characters, which I think is a good thing for showing your first impression of the show, but it wouldn't be a surprise at all if we do indeed see some cameos later on. Will we indeed see Robert Downey Jr. appear in some sort of AI program like the comics? I don't think so, but maybe we may see appearance from Don Cheadle as Rhodey, as War Machine. We all know that there was a proposed project for the Armor Wars, first as a series and then later on that became a movie, but that project really seems like it's scrapped altogether. So once more, I wouldn't surprise me at all if we do indeed see Don Cheadle appear in this show. The setting itself will take place shortly after Riri's time in Wakanda, and we get a long sequence earlier on where we see her trapped in an elevator and she has 3 minutes to escape before the air runs out. And this is some sort of test to see if she's worthy of the genius reputation that she's gained. And here it looks like she'll be recruited into some sort of rogue group of tech geniuses. Now, through looking up the story, we see here that the leader of this group, and presumably the main villain perhaps, is called Parker Robbins, who is also known as the Hood, who's able to tap into dark arts and magic through the hood that he wears. We had that sequence later on where we see all of these tattoos coming over his body, so it will be interesting to see how deep they go into the magical elements in what seems a very modern, scientific, techno-themed show. Is the inclusion of the Hood going to be a spin of the more famous dynamic between Tony Stark and the Mandarin, the fusion of technology versus magic and supernatural? We will wait and see. But overall, for the rest of the trailer, I think everything else was fine. All of the scenes where we see Riri Williams constructing the armor, flying the armor in the cities or in the air were absolutely fine. Nothing wrong at all in terms of the effect shots. We see here that it's much more of a white and blue color scheme. So will we get to the final episodes where she will eventually don the more red and gold color that we saw with the original Iron Man suit? So whilst this was nothing terrible, in my opinion, I think the big challenge for the show is really what has been the same hurdle for all of these Disney Plus shows, and that is simply to try and justify its existence. Why exactly should we care about Riri Williams, especially when she is following in the footsteps of the most prominent character in all of the MCU, which is of course Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark? And despite her being a very different personality, you are always going to draw comparisons. Now, whether that's fair or not is a different argument, but it's always going to be there. What is really interesting about Riri's story? What compelling importance is it for her, or indeed her story? Now, given the recent struggles of the MCU, especially within phases 5 and the tail end of phase 4, we do understand that Ironheart is going to be the very tail end of the diversity initiated content from the Marvel shows on Disney Plus. Everything that we saw from Miss Marvel and Echo and Agatha all along, all of these projects would have been announced when the MCU was at its zenith, and this was during Phase 3 when we had the likes of Infinity War and Endgame and Black Panther, $1 billion at the box office, when Marvel was truly dominating all entertainment. And this is when the studios, of course, felt that they could do no wrong, that they could literally put out anything involving the original source material of the Marvel characters and fuse that more into their Disney platform and have an endless wave of characters tying in that synergy between the movies and the television series, and it would bring endless waves of success. Now, of course, it hasn't turned that way at all. I've said multiple times on this channel that nearly all of the Disney Plus shows have been very lackluster and unimpressive and very disappointing. And it's highly unlikely that Ironheart is going to break that mold, but we never know. We could be due for a surprise. And I do feel that at some stage, if these Disney Plus shows are going to continue, then eventually there has to be a banger. Eventually there has to be one that shines through and actually produces some high quality pieces of television that is worth a revisit after the first watch. But none of the Disney Plus shows have managed to reach that standard. And despite again me feeling that this trailer was fine, it doesn't seem at the moment that Ironheart is going to reach above that standard. But again, we will wait and see overall when it releases. So there's my real thoughts and feelings on the first full trailer of the Ironheart series. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any other further movies, television series, or any other issues within the pop entertainment and culture scene that you'd like to see me cover within the channel, then also let me know within the comments, and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.